Browns could ignore $4 million decision and take drastic steps against Shedeur Sanders after rookie minicamp. Cleveland's quarterback room feels like the final scene of The Godfather. Everyone's smiling, but you can't shake the feeling somebody's about to sleep with the fishes. The Browns, armed with 4 QBs and a $4 million question mark, are staring down a roster crunch that could turn Shedeur Sanders' NFL dream into a reality check. One NFL insider tweeted, Browns QB Shedeur Sanders is not guaranteed a roster spot. Sanders has $4 million guaranteed on his rookie contract. Translation? The dog pound's patience isn't a guarantee either. Sanders, the fifth-round pick who tumbled down draft boards like a Madden glitch, isn't just fighting for snaps. He's battling the ghost of expectations. I've mainly just been focusing on the team, everybody that's currently around me, he told reporters, channeling the zen of a QB who's seen more plot twists than Westworld. I really don't even talk to my family. It's one of those situations where I just have to lock in. Let's set the scene. Cleveland's QB room is a Squid Game audition. There's 40-year-old Joe Flacco, still slinging it like he's got a Super Bowl halo. Kenny Pickett, the Steelers cast-off, via the Eagles, hungry to prove he's worth that ring from Super Bowl 59. Then there's Dillon Gabriel, the third-round rookie with a resume thicker than a Lake Erie winter. And Sanders, the guy who rewrote Colorado's record books but now faces his toughest opponent. NFL math. When cool isn't enough, the QB gauntlet. Gabriel, the NCAA's second all-time leading passer, 18,722 yards, 155 TDs, landed in Cleveland 50 picks before Sanders. Yet, the two have turned their awkward draft night collision into a bromance worthy of Friday Night Lights. Everything's been cool, Sanders said, shrugging off the drama. He's a cool person. I like how he handles situations. We're truly cool. Gabriel, ever the diplomat, doubled down. We're learning from one another. Cue the Rocky training montage music. But let's not kid ourselves. This isn't a buddy comedy. Sanders' $4.6 million deal might be couch cushion money for the Browns, but his college accolades, 7,623 yards, 65 TDs, and a Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, are why Cleveland took the gamble. Yet, as NFL Network's Kurt Warner noted, he's the most accurate passer in this draft when in rhythm. Rhythm, though, is hard to find when you're QB4 in a room where even the clipboard holder has a Heisman vibe. A Sanders story isn't just stats, it's Shakespearean. The son of a gold jacket legend, he spent his life under a microscope, dodging expectations like edge rushers. At Colorado, he orchestrated comebacks that felt ripped from NCAA football highlight reels. 510 yards against TCU, a 98-yard game-tying drive versus Colorado State. Now, he's the guy who gifted a teammate a $200,000 Mercedes but might not afford a locker in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Browns' front office is playing 4D chess. With Deshaun Watson's Achilles shelved for 2025, every rep at OTAs is a referendum on the future. Cutting Sanders would cost $4 million, a blip for a team with $19 million in cap space. But it'd also mean admitting defeat on a talent once dubbed the most structurally sound QB in the draft. So here we are. Sanders, rolling into camp in a Browns-themed Rolls-Royce, armed with swagger and a 74% 2024 completion rate, staring down a depth chart that's less opportunity and more obstacle course. As the man himself said, stay focused is the main thing. In Cleveland, focus might be the only currency that matters. The Browns' QB saga isn't just about contracts or depth charts. It's about legacy. Sanders, with his dad's DNA and his own highlight reel, is chasing more than a roster spot. He's chasing a narrative. And in a city that's seen more football heartbreak than All My Children, sometimes the underdog story is the only one worth telling. So buckle up, Cleveland. This ain't a rebuild, it's a reckoning. Deion Sanders' powerful message on God's favor after ending Shedeur Sanders' $5.5 million childhood memory. There was a time when Deion Sanders had it all: the money, the fame, the rings. But back in '97, even with all that success, Coach Prime hit a really dark place. Amid a messy divorce and the crushing pressure of fame, he drove his car off a cliff at 70 miles per hour. Miraculously, he walked away without a scratch. That night changed everything. He got on his knees and gave it all to God. As he said later, I finally just got on my knees and gave it all to the Lord. There was a time when Deion Sanders had it all: the money, the fame, the rings. But back in '97, even with all that success, Coach Prime hit a really dark place. Amid a messy divorce and the crushing pressure of fame, he drove his car off a cliff at 70 miles per hour. Miraculously, he walked away without a scratch. That night changed everything. He got on his knees and gave it all to God. As he said later, "I finally just got on my knees and gave it all to the Lord." On Monday, Sanders took to his Instagram handle and shared a clip on Instagram showing his coaching style at Colorado, interacting with his sons and players. But it wasn't the footage that grabbed attention. It was his belief that he shared through his caption: "Favor is what it is. God has always been there, and he always will." His favor on the Sanders lives angers people. They really ain't mad at us. They're mad at how you see us, how you respond to us, and how you understand us. I pray you continue to be you, and you continue to allow God to lead you to what's his. Translation: folks out there who criticize Deion and his family aren't bothered by their success. Nope. In fact, they're upset about how other people see the Sanders family, their confidence in them, and how they own the story. At least that's what Deion Sanders believes. And honestly, it's worth something to note, given the past few months and how they've been under public scrutiny. But Coach Prime doesn't sweat it. In fact, he knows pretty well how people despise those who have God's favor. "This is the tough pill to swallow, but favor ain't free," Sanders said in the video. "Grace will cost you something. God's favoring you will lead other people to despise you because you walk in a favor that they don't have, and they can't understand how you keep getting where you are, other than God has chosen you and God has not chosen them, and it leaves a bad taste in their mouths." Long story short, it doesn't matter how many curveballs life throws at him, Deion Sanders will always have faith in God. After all, thanks to his faith and hard work, both of his sons are gearing up for their rookie seasons in the pros. But ahead of that, his sons have to say goodbye to their childhood memories. Deion Sanders' former mansion is on the market at $5.50 million. Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders are gearing up to start their journey in the NFL. Drafted by the Browns in the 5th round, Shedeur will fight for an opportunity in the Browns' stacked quarterback room. On the other side of the spectrum, Shiloh is now in Tampa Bay as he stood out in the Bucs rookie minicamp. The result? Well, he's set to join the team's secondary after securing his rookie deal worth $2.96 million. But before the Sanders brothers could start their rookie season in the NFL, they just received some news that might hit him with nostalgia, but not because of good reasons. Deion Sanders' former Texas mansion, where he raised Shedeur and Shiloh, is on the market through Heather Stevens of the agency. Yeah, you read that right. Situated in Prosper, Texas, the mansion was constructed over 25 years ago, back in '99. The luxury mansion of the two-time Super Bowl champion features 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, a home theater, an indoor pool, a bowling alley, and an indoor basketball court. Coach Prime sold the property back in 2014. Later, the developers who bought around 100 acres of it converted the mansion into a residential community. Fast forward to now, and Coach Prime's former estate is now described as once the legendary home of Deion Sanders. This iconic estate awaits a stunning restoration. The architectural masterpiece offers nearly 6 acres of luxury living in true Texas fashion. Having said that, the childhood home of Shedeur and Shiloh has now hit the market at a whopping $5.5 million.